What's going on, guys? Unashamed here. Hope you guys having an amazing day. Welcome to 2023. This is the very first video of the year. I hope you guys are really excited. I'm back, and I've been through a lot, off screen, and a lot of things going on. Right now, I'm just recovering from a little bit of an illness, and I've just been resting. This video honestly was supposed to come out maybe like a day ago, or maybe a couple days ago. But because of what I just stated, I wasn't able to record like I wanted to. So I do feel much better now, but we'll discuss more about Forspoken once we get through the intro. I'm ashamed, doesn't matter who they try to blame. I'm unashamed, and picked up when I got the fame. Hey, I'm unashamed. Blessings, what's going on, everybody? If you don't know, I'm gonna let you know. I'm unashamed. Also known as Untampered Beast and JC Rep. Welcome, guys, to the channel. Man, it's been such a while since we talked about Forspoken. And I just recently played the game. I've just recently played the demo. My first impressions of the demo and the game in general is a lot different than what I expected it to be, especially with the whole controversy that we all know about regarding the pre-alpha footage that we saw of the game. Somebody leaked hidden footage of the game early, and then we all saw the game at its current state, and I mean the game was being absolutely bashed. And every news outlet was basically just destroying the game. There was very few people that were positively receiving that gameplay footage, and it was honestly, I feel like it was a bad take because at the time it was still nowhere near ready to be released. And you know how things are. We always assume that the game is going to be trash because of some early gameplay footage of the initial game. Now, with that being said, I'm not going to sit here and act like this is a perfect game, because it is not. I also don't want to pretend to act like this game is worse than it actually is. So I will be honest with my review of this demo that they have released. At this point, we can pretty much assume that this is the final product of Forspoken, and this is what we should come to expect on the release day. Now, I will not be getting this, but I definitely want to discuss it to those who wanted to at least see what the game is, and if they're interested in getting it, then I definitely want to talk about it. And considering that I've had a long history of talking about FF titles on my channel, and Square Enix titles, so I definitely wanted to discuss this game because it's being made by the same developers that of course released Final Fantasy 15 as we know it. So thank y'all for clicking on this video, and I hope you guys can get to understand a few things about Forspoken through my take on it. And this is just coming from a person who has played at least maybe like 10 hours of this game, maybe more, maybe less, just because of the demo. Of course, I had my first normal playthrough of it, just going through the checkpoints and getting to the ultimate boss at the end of the demo. But of course, I did go through my second playthrough just to play around with the world and get used to movement and whatever the game has to offer. So you're never going to truly understand everything until you play around with it and truly get yourself immersed in it. Now this demo is mainly just focusing on the gameplay itself. You will not be playing this demo and get spoiled by any means necessary. You will just be playing this demo, and they will just be focusing on just the gameplay aspect of the game. So you will not be spoiled in any way by playing this demo. You will just be playing a portion of the main game, and then you get to the final boss, and then that's it for the demo itself. So there's even limits to how far you can go in the world, so you can only go but so far before the game decides to just basically block you and send you back to where you started. There's basically a lot of different enemies that you can face. You're also given your basic magic abilities from Frey herself, and then you also are given, I think it's Silica's or whatever her name is, abilities, which are melee type abilities. I didn't realize that until much later after the second playthrough, that they added melee based magic in the game as well. And this game is very much a grindy type of a game where everything in the world, everything that you are equipped with in the game has a purpose. So even her fingernails are basically upgradable, you know. In this game, this is pretty much a RPG's RPG. You can't be more of an RPG than this game. Everything in the game is upgradable. Your fingernails, your cape. I mean, you really have to focus on level grinding and making sure that you have the best equipment in the game as well. As you play the game, things will get harder and you will take more damage. And you know, you got to have the best equipment as possible when playing as her, because you cannot block. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, if you take damage, you're really going to get punished if you don't have the right stuff on. Now, I'm just going to quickly break down how the gameplay works. I mean, it's not hard at all to understand. With R2, you basically are using any type of magic that allows you to actually attack. So R2 is your actual attack button. So if you're going to be using Frey's magic, you're going to be pretty much pelting people away with her shootable magic that you have at your disposal. And depending on which setting you have it on, it will change how fast her pellets go and what her pellets actually do. So she has the shield, then she has the shootable, you know, machine gun type bullets, and then she has your chargeable magic that you can use that builds up into a big boulder, and then you can shoot it once you charge it up. And that's everything that's pretty much everything regarding her her basic magic for R2 with your attack button. Of course, you want to make sure you lock down on the enemy and dodge with circle so that you can get out of the way of attacks. And then for L2, this is basically all your defensive magic. So with Frey's magic, L2 is basically you can set traps, you can absorb people's energy using L2 with her basic magic. You know, you can bind people with her magic using L2. And you know, everything has a menu so that you can easily scroll through the menu and choose whatever ability you want to use. And that's pretty much, you know, the basic functions of how it works regarding the combat of Frey's magic. And it's the same concept with Scylla's magic. And just so that you know that every single ability does not work on, you know, every single type of enemy. Of course, if you try to use bind on the boss here, it will not work. It's resistant to it. And honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you, I found myself using Scylla's magic more than anything else because I just felt like it took way too much time to defeat the bosses without using Scylla's magic. It's just way more convenient, and you can get the enemy to be staggered way more often when you use Scylla's magic rather than Frey's magic. And I found that to be way more convenient and helped me to defeat him a lot faster. And then last but not least, the last thing they have to offer is the ultimate attack. So the ultimate attack is when you basically charge up all of your magic to the point where down there in the bottom right, it gives you an indicator that tells you that, hey, look, you can use your ultimate attack. And then you just press L2 and R2 and you can go ahead and use that ultimate attack to deal even more damage to your enemies. I found myself using that in a lot of different situations, but I've never really felt like it was needed necessarily. I never felt like it really benefited me too much to use it And of course, you know, Frey's ultimate ability is different than Scylla's. But I'm gonna be honest with you, my favorite ability from Frey's side of things was her ability to put like a plant down, and basically that plant would basically, you know, attack the enemy for me. And I really felt like that was a huge help when fighting the bosses or fighting multiple enemies that were attacking me at once. And it really helped kind of deal with them, because an extra hand is always helpful. Now that's not all there is in terms of the combat and fighting. There's so much more to be discovered in the main game and also in the demo regarding upgrades. But I'm just giving you just the basic rundown of all of it for you guys to check out for yourselves in the demo, so you can kind of have an idea how combat works just on a basic level. But I'm gonna just go ahead and talk about the traversal real quickly, and because I feel like without understanding the traversal of the game, you can't even really properly fight in combat, to be honest with you, because it's important that you know how to move around in the game as well. So basically traversal is, you know, pretty simple but not easy at all. I'm gonna tell you right now, especially when you're talking about teleporting, because there's a tether that Frey has that allows you to lock on to specific I guess objects that, you know, in the game, that allows you to zip up and move to a different altitude in the air, and then at that point you're giving another chance to zip again, but you have to hold down the square button in order to do this properly. Otherwise you'll hit the ground really hard and lose a lot of health, and I've done that many times, and I never quite figured out how to fix that and how to break my fall or anything like that. The tether is the only option you have. There's no, you know, floating, there's no flying, there's none of that in this game. So, you know, as far as I'm concerned, at this point in time, this is the only way you can break your fall, is by using that tether before you hit the ground in order to break your fall or to zip to new places and new altitudes while traversing the area in Forspoken. Also, in order to do that, like quick run ability, when you're traversing the world on foot, you have to hold down circle, and, you know, hold down circle and press X while you're holding down circle, and it'll allow you to kind of jump across and traverse through the area much faster. Do not get this confused with regular sprinting, because you can sprint, you know, just normally in the game as well by just pressing L3. But in order to quick run, you have to hold down circle and jump while you're quick running, so that you can kind of hop, you know, through much faster in a more, you know, acrobatic, cool kind of way. Now that's pretty much it for everything I've come across regarding the traversal and just the game in general. Now I wanted to, you know, place a big disclaimer. You're only given 5 diamonds of zip line space, so you can't zip line over and over and over. You're only given 5 diamonds, and once those diamonds run out, let's say you're in midair and you've run out of those diamonds, you cannot zip anymore. So good luck hitting the ground. So hope it doesn't kill you, you know, and then you have to start all the way back over. Be very wise with your zip lining, and don't, you know, just keep using that over and over. Use that in order to zip to certain areas, but then once you reach that area, you need to chill and let your diamonds recharge, so that you'll have enough for the next time that you need them. Alright guys, that pretty much covers my playthrough of the Forspoken demo. As of this recording, the game is said to be released around March of 2023, and the game will be released at the $70 price tag gateway box. You know, this is insane that we're living in a day and age where AAA titles are requesting or asking us to pay $70 for a new AAA experience. But, you know, it is what it is. That's the current gaming climate that we live in. Pay more for another mediocre AAA experience. And what's even funnier is that they ask us to pay this after, what is it, 2 different game delays. Like, this game has been delayed at least twice, and they're still telling us that, hey, this game is going to be dropped at $70 price tag on PS5. That is insanity that they would even have the audacity to ask us to pay that much for this thing. And honestly, a lot of people still aren't really sold on this game and whether or not this is going to be good or not. But I can say that this game is definitely worthy of being on PS5 because of the controller feedback and haptic feedback. You literally can feel every single footstep that she takes. Like, you can feel all of that in the controller itself. It just feels way more immersive with the PS5 technology, and I can appreciate that in itself. Not that it really matters in terms of making it and whether or not it's worth the $70, just the the whole idea of it being on PS5. I do agree that it is PS5 worthy. We'll just see if it really lives up to the hype, if it really lives up to the expectations, does it live up to the $70 price tag. And yeah, that's pretty much it for it, guys. Thank y'all for watching this video. I am returning back to weekly uploads. I've just been having a lot of different things going on in my life, physically and emotionally, and all the different things going on in the background. If I'm not mistaken, the next video will be on Watch Dogs. So there was a viewer that requested that we talk about Watch Dogs on our next Christian critique, and I'll be bringing that to you guys shortly after I get that nice and edited up for you guys to enjoy. If you guys have not yet subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe, because I will always be here to support you guys and to speak truth into you guys' lives. Of course, I believe in Jesus Christ, and I pray that every single one of you would give your life to the Lord Jesus Christ while there's still time. God loves us so much, and he desires that all of us be in his kingdom one day, and we won't have to worry about being in a place that we do not desire to be in the afterlife. So I pray that every single one of you have a great and blessed day, and make sure you stay unashamed in this dark and wicked world. God bless.